I'm going to just walk you through real quickly what our agenda is for this evening. Again, because there are possibly some new families to Trinity as well, we're going to just take you through just a very brief couple slides overview of the role of the elementary school ministry, as well as some of our operating priorities for the current school year. Mr. Bauer is going to share with us just an update on our school safety practices and policies, just in light of everything that's been going on in recent weeks with Sandy Hook, and just in general, our desire to provide a safe environment for our children. There is a lot of exciting work going on from a school branding and marketing perspective that Mr. Bauer will share with you. We will walk you through the tuition summary for next school year. I know all of us have already received some information from Mr. Bauer relative to what our tuition will be for next year, but take an opportunity to walk everybody through that, make sure that there's a very clear understanding of kind of how that works along with the registration process. And then, as I mentioned, a good portion of our time is going to be spent in roundtable discussion. Okay? So just again, for those of you that might not be familiar with what our ministry is about, we are an advisory council for the operational and administrative aspects of our school, working very closely alongside Mr. Bauer, and really in support, again, of our school and the work that we do that is delegated, obviously, by Church Council, which is the broader sort of management aspect of our church and school family. Some of the specific things that we do is we recommend and review policies, so all of the things that are outlined in our school handbook, we take a look at that on an annual basis. As certain questions and considerations come up, we do take the time at our meetings to review things like that. And they're relative to things like enrollment, student behavior and discipline, expectations, class size, staffing, those types of administrative and operational components are things that we take a look at. One of the things that we're doing tonight is communicating not so much the expense budget this evening, but tuition rates and user fees. Again, we'll communicate that information with you this evening. And one of the things that we wanted to clarify, Mr. Bauer will probably highlight this again as well, I think that there is some question out there as to the role that ESM has specifically as it relates to tuition. And we just wanted to clarify that tuition rates are not set by ESM, they are set by Trinity's management team, of which Mr. Bauer is a part of, but it's not something that ESM establishes what the tuition rates or user fees will be. Our job is to help communicate that to school families, but it's not something that we directly set. We also serve as a hearing board to help facilitate any sort of it's called dispute resolution. It's very rare that these types of things happen, but we are sort of a ministry that if there is something that is not able to be resolved, in sort of a very direct fashion by either one-on-one with staff or administration, we are available to help in that regard. But again, in the years that I've been serving on ESM, I think I can count on one hand the types of things that have even come forward. So we have a very open process here at our school. We also support the efforts of our school staff and cooperate, again, with other ministries in service to Trinity. Again, as all of it falls under Church Council and the broader Trinity organization. So ESM members, just if you kind of take a look at the people who are sitting up here, we are all parents of Trinity students, the same way that many of you are. We all care very deeply about Christian education and specifically what we offer here at Trinity. We are all committed to supporting the partnership between Trinity and the families that it serves, which is each of you. As I mentioned, my name is Renee Heitman. I'm currently the chair of ESM, and I'm just going to have each of we're missing Steve Sievers, and I'm not sure if any of you know him. He is not here this evening, and either is just Guzzy, but I'm going to have each of these people just quickly tell you their name and what grades their children are in. I have actually a sophomore at Lake Park right now, and I have a daughter that's in 7th grade.
Sure. Julie Barada. I have a son in 2nd grade with Miss Johnson and a kindergartner with Mrs. DeWitt. Daughter.
Ellen Baker. I have an 8th grader, Derek. I have a 6th grader, Grant, and a 1st grader, Claire.
I'm Jim Fair. I have a senior in high school who came through here at Bartlett. I also have an 8th grade daughter, Megan, and a 7th grader, Andrew.
Jamie Eichholz, and I have a preschooler, 3-year-old preschool, and a 4th grader.
Cindy Smeller, I have a 1st grader, Madeline, and a 4-year-old preschooler, Ashley.
Okay, and I just want to spend just a few minutes letting you know some of the things that we are keeping busy with here at the elementary school ministry. One of the things that's very important to us, and hopefully some of you have seen some of the communication that we've been putting out, we've been trying to do a really good job of really fostering ongoing communication with our school families, our students and staff, and the congregation as a whole. We've been trying to ensure that after each of our monthly meetings that we put just a real quick update in the school notes, letting people know some of the things that we've been working on. We have also started doing quarterly updates to the congregation in the takeout, so hopefully you've seen some of those things, and we really highlight a lot of the great things that are happening within our school, so that's always kind of fun for us to kind of look back and put that together. We've also been doing some recognition notes on a monthly basis. Perhaps some of your students have received encouragement or recognition from the elementary school ministry. I know some of our staff has received notes from us as well. We just want to take that opportunity, if there's something really great that's happening, some sort of a success story or an achievement, somebody's done something, we just want to take that moment to let them know that you know, we encourage them in that, and just to sort of congratulate them. So we've been trying to do that. And then also provide a feedback loop, again, with parents via this type of a meeting. This year we're also, I think this is kind of goes across every year, but really trying to be very purposeful about supporting the youth of our congregation. We have students obviously here in our school through 8th grade, many of which also go through our confirmation program, and to the extent that we can support that ongoing relationship with families as children either leave our school and or go through our confirmation program, and really supporting Mark Novosek and in his efforts, that's something that we as a ministry feel that if we have an opportunity to make a positive impact in supporting that, that's something we'd like to do. As I mentioned earlier, ongoing review of policies, and then this is just one other sort of area, you know, in terms of supporting Mr. Bauer and administration. If there's, again, consistent with what's in our handbook relative to policy about any tuition that may be past due, if there's a way for us to support him in that effort to sort of provide some resolution and work with families, that is something that the elementary school ministry would be involved in. So that's kind of in a nutshell what it is that we do and what our priorities are. And now we're going to kind of get into some nuts and bolts of updates for you, and Mr. Bauer is going to take over from here.
You all know there's been a lot of concern over the last month, especially for student safety in schools. And my fear, some of it has come to light, is once we have a big tragedy like that, there are more incidents that happen. And if you've watched since Sandy Hook, there have been incidents that have happened, not the same kind or same tragic results, but incidents nonetheless. Trinity has been working together with all the feeder schools and with Lake Park that are in the jurisdiction of the Village of Roselle Police and Fire Departments. We've been meeting on a regular basis for several years now. They helped us create our crisis plan for the school. They help run drills, and this Friday we have a lockdown drill coming up. It's required by the state, but they help us to coordinate and to see through this. And so you'll hear your kids talking about what happens Friday at 1:30 when the police came and they all had to sit in a corner with the lights off and the doors locked and all those kinds of things. They're really good about it, and it really is important that we practice and adhere to any kind of emergency situation like that. It wasn't that long ago that we went into a soft lockdown. Now this was called in light of Sandy Hook and the things that were happening in our society. But I think it was a smart move, and we learned that we need to make some improvements too. You know, Practice, practice, practice makes us better, and that's what we'll continue to do. But we've also realized that we have some problems. And right after Sandy Hook, remember Sandy Hook happened on a Friday, and I got a lot of emails from parents who were concerned about safety, and their primary point of contention was all of our doors are locked during the school day, except for the door under the canopy, the main entrance door. It's always been justified that we have a receptionist who sits there and checks out everyone who comes in. Everyone who comes in is supposed to sign in and get a visitor badge. And then, well, you know what? It's not working as well as the intention is. And after I met with our facilities manager and our senior pastor and talked about putting a buzzer system out there like every other school in the village has, it was kind of dropped a little bit till over Christmas. And there were some parents who brought it up to the pastors again. So now we had a meeting the same day as the lockdown, what a coincidence, with village officials in how we can make Trinity a better, safer environment for the kids. First on the list was the buzzer system. Right now the plan is that there'll be a buzzer at the main entrance door under the canopy and also one back here by the Family Life Center. Because we have a lot of meetings and things that happen right here in this room that we're sitting in now, that would help facilitate, especially senior citizens and that, who find it quite a long walk to go in under the canopy all the way down to school halls into this room. Plus, do we really want people that we're not really familiar with all the time to walk through our halls where our kids are? And so that's one of the things that we're doing, and it's top of the list. Another thing that we're looking at are putting up security doors. We have a lot of functions here at the church. We have people coming in to see the pastors. We have funerals, we have weddings, we have all these different events that happen, and there's no security between the church and the school. And so right now, a plan that we are looking at, and please keep that in mind, we're looking at, because we're investigating a lot of things, is to put locked doors, security doors, in the hallway by the staff lunchroom, drinking fountains there, just past the school, between the church office and the school office. And also to put back the doors that are in the hallway at the end of the primary section right outside the coat room. So no one could enter in. Those doors would be locked and they have panic bars on them so they can open out that way, but no one can come in that way. And the same thing by the staff lunchroom. Our other issue that we're working on is early childhood. If we have early childhood parents in here, you know, currently we have parents walk their children, we unlock the doors just before school starts, and we lock them up when we think all the kids are here. But in between, we have parents who are walking in, bringing their kids, the doors are open. We have some parents who have siblings in the grades that they come in that way, and we've allowed that in the past, but we got to make some changes. One of the things we're looking at is come March 1st, those doors will remain locked. They will not be unlocked, but we will have teacher aides at the door, checking in children, taking them to the classes when they come in, and when they are dismissed, we'll have teachers taking the children, taking them to the parents. We got to figure out a traffic pattern so that the cars stop and line up and start, or stop rather right by the bottom of the stairs outside early childhood, so the teachers can take the kids and hand them over to the parents. It means a lot of education of our staff and of our parents. It's going to be tough not being able to go in and talk to the preschool teachers and see what's going on and see what's in the hallways and that. But that's something we're going to have to sacrifice for the safety of our children. We are also going to have to be stricter on enforcing the rules that we currently have. One of those rules is parents are not to come into the school building during the school time, okay? Unless they go through the front entrance, sign in, get a visitor badge, do their business, the school office, or volunteer wherever they need to go. but then go right back out. It seems like we're being unfriendly, but we're really not. And I hope that you do understand our top priority when you drop your kids off here is not really to make you happy, but to protect and guide and love those children. And we do this for the safety's sake of those children. It wasn't that long ago, just about 2 weeks ago, I think, there was a Catholic school in Pennsylvania where someone came in and kidnapped a 5-year-old girl from the school. We don't want that to happen here. And God willing, and through His protection, it never will. But we want to make sure we do our share too. So I hope our parents can get over that. If they want to talk to teachers, please call them or email them or set up appointments, and those can be arranged. But in the morning, we need you to stay out of the hallways. In the afternoons, we need you to stay out of the hallways. It's only for the sake of your children that we do that. Faculty involvement. A week ago yesterday, I was at a meeting with all the schools and the fire and police departments, and Sergeant Will Seeley, who's a detective on the Village of Roselle Police, gave a presentation on school safety, what to look for in that. It's very good, very well done. We came back to our faculty meeting last Wednesday, and that's when we had a chance as a staff to talk more about it. And we did. We went through the notes that I took. I actually got a copy of the PowerPoint you used and then emailed it to the teachers as well. But it was in there that we started talking about how we have to be more diligent in our actions. And so if you have a teacher come up to you here in the school and they say, I don't know who you are, can I help you? Do you have a visitor badge? Go to the front and get one, that kind of thing. Please do not take offense to it. This is the thing that we've talked about. Our teachers have to be more proactive in regulating the hallway and traffic and that. The more we work together, the safer our kids will be. School branding and marketing. Back in October, Nancy Thomas-Secker, our admissions counselor, and I were talking, and we realized that we need some help in what we're trying to do. And so we hired a consultant who specializes in branding for schools and in marketing concepts. And Mr. Jack Foley from Ovis Otter is our consultant. Now he has clients all across the country. Over the last 2 years, he's helped brand and market 25 schools from California all over New York. He's out of Boston. The way he started this was he came in, he met with me and Nancy, and then he met with the teachers and individually interviewed each of them. And then he had a list of parents that he'd like to talk to. He had guidelines for what kind of parents are the best type to speak with. And we had about 20 parents. I presented him a list of 20 parents. Of those 20, he was able to interview 15 of those parents to get his ideas and help with that. So over Christmas then, he came in from Boston and met with several teachers, Steve and Nancy and myself and Pastor Mueller and several members of the church council, and reviewed with us what he thought the impact of all those interviews were. One of the first things he found out was these are all the schools that our parents, when he interviewed, and our teachers, when he interviewed, were listed as competition for us. Okay, Medina Christian School, obviously, the public schools here in Roselle, and in Schaumburg, and in Itasca, and in Bartlett. Quest Academy is in Palatine. Quest Academy caters itself to students with they have to have a certain IQ in order to even enroll in this school. St. Walter's is the largest school in the area. St. Isidore, St. Luke's, well, you can just read through the list there. I was surprised about Wheaton Christian Grammar School being one of them, but then as I thought more about it, recently we've had more people who have come to our school who live more in that general area. And so that would be than competition for us. Jack's findings. He found 5 key skills through those interviews that enrich our school experience. And they are: 1, we introduce and integrate the faith. In every class, in every activity, all that we do is geared towards the service of God and pleasing God. That came out real clear with the parents and the staff. Number 2, we do more and we do it well. Faculty and staff wear many hats, not because they have to, but because they're called to. Jack Foley told the group that of all the schools he has done, he has never seen a more dedicated, more hardworking, more compassionate staff than what we have here at Trinity. And I thought that was a great testament to all the things that the teachers do. Of course, we pay them top dollar too, but no. We hold our students to a higher standard. We expect more. It was very interesting. I haven't even shared this with Mr. Shirey yet, but I got the first semester grades for the freshman math class out of the 12 students that we sent to Lake Park. We had 3 whose grades went down, but the other 8 all remained the same or went higher. And half of those kids are in advanced classes, Geometry 1 and things. That's a tough class for freshmen to take too. So I was real pleased with that, and I'll share with you tomorrow about it. We know each student. From the time school, well, even before school begins in August, teachers are calling you up and setting up appointments to come to your house and meet with you and get to know your students a little bit. From that time on, those kids are the center of the teacher's attention. The teachers really do take the time to understand and to work with each student and their unique abilities. We also maintain some traditions, building upon our 113 years, I think it is. We have such traditions as handing out Bibles to the 3rd graders in church service. The wall camp trip for 6th graders that week of outdoor ed, the 8th grade trip, the 5th, 4th, and 5th grade trip. There are some traditions that we really cling to and hold and cherish. From these skills, he found out from the parents and teachers that families receive several benefits, 6 of them here that he's listed. These are potential positioning statements that we can use in our marketing and that. 1, we lead in high school. Our students lead in high school. They thrive as students and leaders in their community. Our kids, when they go on to high school, like I said, academically do well, but also they do well in leadership ways. Just recently, I heard that there were 15 sophomores that were selected for a special national leadership group. Of those 15 sophomores from Lake Park High School, 2 of them were Trinity grads. That's a pretty good percentage for us. Number 2, we are a modern Christian school. We're continually researching, evaluating, applying teaching innovations and new classroom technologies as we can for our kids and to the school. 3, we live learning. Skilled and passionate faculty, empowering average student to be good, the good to be great, and great to be exceptional. We keep pushing and pushing those children. 4, we receive the attention you deserve. Again, the individual focus on the children, the continuous encouragement. 5, they learn more here. There are daily opportunities to discover new things. It's not just math and reading and science, but it's a whole lot more. Starting off with devotions and religion classes, talking about the faith, having class meetings, some of the classes we offer the kids, servant living class, class initiatives, cooking, television production. There's a wide variety of extra efforts that are made to reach out to the kids and give them that experience. And 6, will build your confidence. The self and the Christian values, the character and courage and decision making, the leadership that our kids can grab hold of and develop and take on with them as they go on. It's kind of neat to know that in this elementary school ministry, we have several of them that are alumni of the school. Jack Foley was amazed at the number of alumni we have on our staff here. They were taught here, and what they learned, they grew up and wanted to share with others, and they came back. He felt that that says a lot about our school. Unfortunately, we can't see the forest for the trees. You know, we just think of this as common stuff. We don't realize how blessed we are. So from these findings, he made some recommendations. And one is, if you notice during the presentation, and we should have been more diligent in going through it, there was 3 different ways that we identified Trinity. Trinity, Trinity Lutheran School, Trinity Lutheran Church and School, or actually TLS. And then there are things like Trinity Roselle. There are different ways that we talk about our school. He says we need to get one name for the school and stick to it. That becomes a brand then, something that people will realize. We need to integrate selected positioning statements into a new logo, the website, and all communication vehicles. And we need to redesign our logo. And we're working on those things right now. We're working on a brand new web page for the school. Nancy's working through a company in India, actually, who is helping us to do that. It'll be a much more comprehensive and informative web page than the one we currently have. And of course, a logo redesign. And we're working on that too. And I've learned a lot these last couple of weeks about graphic artists and how they work. But this is the new logo components. These are the parts of the things that we're going to start branding ourselves with. And that is Trinity. Not Trinity Lutheran School, not TLS, not Trinity Roselle, but we start identifying ourselves as much as possible as just Trinity. The modern Christian school. That tagline will be added to it. We are a ministry of Trinity Lutheran Church. And then we purchased a new URL for the school website. And that is www.thechristianschool.org. Actually, I think we bought 2 of them, didn't we, Nancy? .org and .com. But that's what we're going to go with. And so you will be seeing things in the near future that are branding and identifying Trinity, the modern Christian school, with a new URL. And hopefully using that in some of our marketing and that will be a big help. Some opportunities to promote Trinity, not TLS, but Trinity. January 27th, this Sunday, we're having a general open house. Nancy's put ads in the papers, the surrounding communities. She's sent out posters and flyers to churches and preschools all around us as well. Hopefully, we'll be able to get some of those people to come in and check out our school, see what it's like. We don't have a problem working with people once they get inside our doors. But getting people to come in is where we need the help. And that's what we've been working on. We also have a kindergarten open house on February 7th, and that's really well attended. This general open house on Sunday is the first time we've done this. We'll probably have at least 1, if not 2 more over the course of spring, but we're going to see how this is going to happen. Jack is going to be talking to our teachers this Thursday morning and talking to them about how to pitch the school to parents who come into the classroom and things like that, how to present themselves. And so we're really looking forward to that. That's exciting, and this is this is tuition summary. Last year, it was rolled out that for 3 years we would find $350 tuition increases be made to our member children, $450 per year for our community member children for the first child. You know that we have $750 discount, which is applied to second children and third children. If you have a fourth or a fifth or whatever, those come free to our school. We've established a user fee structure. We did increase it $20 this year. Sounds like you're getting hit again, but actually I think you're saving, because right now yearbook prices are at $27, if I'm not mistaken. We're charging that $20 and then providing every student with a yearbook. So you're not going to have to make special orders like you have before, or worry about being late, or forget to do it, and then come May, we got children with tears rolling down their cheeks because they don't have a yearbook. Or one parent say, you know what, my kids are going to share the yearbook. That just never works out, you know. So we're trying to help you there. But every student will get a yearbook. This will be able to, we'll be able to do this at a cheaper rate actually than what it is now. We will continue to have the eligibility to receive member rate. That's active member rate at 30 plus worship times in a year and 10 plus service hours. 30 worship experiences in a year. There are 70 or 72 times to worship in a calendar year. 30 is less than half the time. Really, as Christian parents, this should be real easy for us to accomplish. And then 10 service hours. When we first unrolled this a few years back, parents were all up in arms until the first month of school, and oh gosh, I've already made more than 10 service hours. You know, parents come in all the time and do things in the church or in the school. So that really wasn't a big problem. What we have also are registration fees each year. Now we've changed the dates on these. The reason we're moving everything up a month is, one, there are other schools that are starting to do that, but two, it helps us in planning for next year. And you're going to start hearing this more and more. We do not contract or call our teachers for next year until we have the registrations in. We cannot get stuck having teachers and much fewer children in the school. It just costs us too much and it hurts too many people. So our registration fee will be $50 per student through March the 1st. From March 2nd to April 30th, it's $100, and then following April 30th, it's $200 per student. Here's the tuition rates for this year. It's $464,645 for the first child for a member, an active member, which is a $350 increase. $3,895 for your second and third child, and again, those are $350 increases. For the community member, the first child, it's $7,245, or a $450 increase. And you can see that for second, third child, it's $6,495. Now that's still not the total cost of education. Operating costs are about $7,500. The church is contributing from their general fund the difference between what your tuition would be and what the cost would be. And that doesn't always include the building and capital expenses that take place either. The church provides our students, our school, with these great facilities. These are the user fees, again, the $20 increase. And some of the things that your user fee pays for. So pretty much, when you register your child and enroll your child and you start paying your tuition, the only extra money that would be expected would be a hot lunch program, if you participate in that. We used to say hot lunch in yearbook, but that's no longer the case. And that's how the money is spent. Preschool tuitions, our half-day programs went up 5%. Our full-day preschool program went up only 2%. The reason being, again, the cost that we had set last year for this first-time experience. Comparing the cost to a school in Elmhurst, we're cheap for a full-day preschool, believe it or not. Tuition payment options consistent with what we've done in the past. We will continue to use Smart Tuition Plan. You can pay it in full with one payment. or you can break it up into monthly payments that are due by the 10th of the month. If you do, there are handling fees that are assessed, and they're $5 per month per child. You can set up 12 automatic monthly payments by the 10th by bank draft or credit card. Again, the handling fees apply. So registration timeline. Re-enrollment information was distributed already as soon as we got back from Christmas. The re-enrollment form and registration fees to get the lowest registration fee are due by March the 1st. Online registration will be open on Renweb for March 1st. The registration form that you turn in just tells us, yes, you're making a commitment to come back to Trinity. On March the 1st, then, you have to go through the enrollment process, which is all online. And if you remember that, that's where you check out your addresses and phone numbers and emergency contacts and all that. And then in August, you'll be downloading the health forms and all those other forms that we need to have in our hands here in school. And again, I want to remind you that the number of registrations equals the number of teacher contracts extended. So the sooner you get those in, the more assured we are that we're going to be able to keep this great hardworking staff that we have.